Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Rams. I'm a professional Rocket League coach for the team Top Blokes in RLCS, and today I decided I wanted to bring you a special kind of video. It's not that special, but it's something a little bit specific, which I don't do very often, and this one is going to be talking about slumping, how to get out of a slump, and what to do if you're in a slump. So the first thing I could probably talk about is what a slump means, what it means to be in a slump regarding Rocket League, but trust me, this can apply to pretty much every different esport or sport that you're playing in that requires some sort of mechanical ability or something that you've rehearsed in a long period of time. A slump is essentially when you feel like you were at a performance level where you were growing and now you feel like you've either plateaued and you've like hit and you're stuck in the same level of skill for a prolonged period of time. That's what a slump could be. Or it could be that you've dipped from that peak that you're at down to a lower level of performance than you're used to, and so you feel like, why am I deteriorating? Why am I suddenly worse than I was? This could be as simple as like, I can't score the ball in Rocket League right now. This could be, oh, I can't hit a single three-pointer in the NBA. I don't know why an NBA player might be watching this, but you know, you get my drift. It could be a ton of things that like you feel like you're just not able to do anymore, and so as a result you feel demotivated. That's one of the main things that happens, is like, why am I suddenly bad at the game? Like, this isn't what I was like 2 weeks ago. What's changed? Like, why? I don't feel like I've done anything different and now things are worse. And yeah, it can be a real pain in the ass. Yeah, it could be a massive pain in the ass when you're trying to feel like you're improving, you're trying to be motivated, and then all of a sudden you get hit with this brick wall where you feel, wow, I'm just bad. Like, I can't score the ball. Like, nothing's working for me right now, and you just don't want to play. You get tilted. That's the thing that often comes from it. You get tilted, or you know, you go through a ranked session and you like hit crossbar after crossbar after crossbar after crossbar after crossbar after crossbar. Okay, that one hit a little too close to home. You can't score the ball and it just begins to tilt you, and then all of a sudden your mentality shifts from I'm trying to improve to why aren't I improving? And that's kind of the thing I wanted to tackle here. I want to use this video to identify what a slump is, which is kind of what I just did, and then try and rewire what your brain perceives as what's happening, and to flip it on its head and try and understand in a little bit of a different way, look at it in a larger scale, and try to understand what you can do to now keep on improving and get back to the level you were and improve from there onwards. So the way I'd like to explain this is, obviously a slump feels like a negative experience. That's the overarching feeling that you'll find. It feels like a massive negative thing that's just suddenly stopped you in your tracks. It's not too dissimilar to how you feel if you get injured whilst playing a real sport. You physically get stopped. You're obviously going to come back at a slightly lower level that you're going to have to work back up to, right? But what the thing is, a slump is more of a mental injury. And it's not really a physical thing that's stopping you from improving or getting back to the level that you want to be doing. So the first thing to obviously mention is it's completely natural to feel like you're in a slump, and it's completely natural to end up in a slump. Like, it's not just a thing that some perfect Rocket League players or some perfect players just completely forego and don't fall into. Like, slumps happen. Everyone goes into a slump. We've seen some of the best players in the world have slumps. It's a thing. So what actually happens when you're in a slump? Let me break down in a very simplistic way the way I view slumps and the way you can take that approach towards your slump and then rewire and get remotivated again and push past it and get even better than you possibly could be. So when you first started playing the game, I'm going to use Rocket League as an example. If you were learning how to aerial the ball, or let's go with double touch because it's a little bit more complex, but like, let's say you're learning how to double touch, right? When you're practicing a double touch, what you're not thinking of is like the multiple steps that are going into doing that double touch, right? You're just thinking of hitting the ball off the wall, hitting it after the wall, and then hitting into the goal, right? Those are like the three main things you're probably thinking of. But what you're not thinking of is the approach, your boost usage, your takeoff, the angle of your car, the way you follow through the ball, the way you read off the backboard where it's going, the way you identify where the defenders are, the way you then read off the bounce how you're going to air roll the car, then the actual contact you're getting with the ball onto the car, or the car onto the ball, you know what I mean? And then how it's actually going into the net. Like, that's 10 steps, and that was kind of like more vague description of what you're doing, but you can see how instead of 3 steps you get 10 steps, right? And obviously that's more in depth, and you won't be thinking about that consciously the whole time. That's obvious. No one is. If you are, you're crazy, because you have like the this is what you look like if you're if you're thinking about that the entire time when you're doing that, right? If you were to measure your success at how you do that double touch, the success if it was in black or white, or like yes or no, the success would be scoring it, right? And the unsuccessful event is not scoring it. So if you were to take the 10 steps, if you hit all 10 steps, that is success, right? And if you only get 9 out of the 10 steps, that's you doing everything right except scoring the ball, that's not successful, right? That makes sense. But if you were to break it down and say you were thinking, like I just said, about the 10 steps, right? And you do the approach correctly, right? So at the moment you do 0, yeah? And this is how you're learning to do a double touch. But then you start with the approach correctly. All right, cool. That's 1 out of 10. Like if you were actually paying attention, you know you've made progress from 0 to 1. And then from here, you know, you might learn to do the boost management and the takeoff correctly. So now you've gone from 0 to 3, and now, oh, that's actually improvement. But if you were to still look at this point, you're nowhere near successful. You're not successful. You haven't actually improved. You can't score the double touch yet. You get what I'm saying? So then you keep going. Oh, and then I learned to do the takeoff. I get the first ball touch. I've read it off the backboards, but I can't get the second thing. Oh, okay, well, so I've improved from not being able to touch the ball at all or take off to getting up to hitting the ball off the backboards in a desired way. But I still haven't scored it, so it's unsuccessful. Now, I can keep going and explaining, but I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. If you measure things as successful or unsuccessful based on the final product, you're not going to actually feel like you're improving. Now, what I'm saying is, what a slump might feel like is you're being unsuccessful in things, but what you should think about it is, maybe you can't see the individual steps you're doing, but you're slowly checking off the checklist of what you need to be doing to push past what feels like a slump. So if you're missing every shot and hitting the crossbar, all that means is, let's say if you were to hit the ball slightly slower and as a result you'd have more time to aim, you'd probably be scoring it. But what you're now doing is, let's say, is hitting the ball faster, and you're trying to get to the ball faster so you can be faster overall, but you haven't quite got the accuracy down. But it feels like you're missing every ball. But reality is you're now faster to the ball, you're hitting the ball harder, you're recovering quicker off the ball, but you're just hitting the crossbar. So it feels like you're slumping. And then eventually that crossbar is your aim is gonna go from here, whereas the crossbar is slightly down, and that's top bins, and that's gonna be a great goal. You know what I mean? Bottom line of what I'm trying to say is, don't think of your slump as a yes or a no, as like a black or a white situation. Think of it as, if you're doing something unsuccessfully, you're actually building the foundations of you being able to do it on a consistent basis, as opposed to, can I do it? Yes. Can I do it? No. And if you take that mentality into everything you're doing in life, right, this is getting kind of philosophical, but if you do that in everything you do in life, training, you know, studying, whatever it is, you will find out that it will help you in the long run, and you can stay motivated and keep working forwards. Thanks for watching. I hope I explained it in a decent way. I understand it's like a little bit more of a complex way for me to explain it, but I feel like when I started thinking about it logically, I actually started thinking about this approach when I started drumming. I've been drumming for about 14 years now, and it really massively helped me, because instead of like trying to go full force into the deep end, I tried to build it up slowly, point by point, and as a result it helped me. And then I carried that over into Rocket League, and I've helped many people who felt like they're in a slump and help try rewire their brain to push past it. So anyway, I hope that helps. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a like and maybe hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs. We're close to 500 as I'm recording this. I know I should maybe take baby steps. 500 subs would be fantastic. I think we're only about 60 subs away, so that would be fantastic if we could do that. But the goal is to hit 1,000 subs in 2021 at a minimum. So that is where we're aiming. So please help me out there. And if you haven't already, follow me on socials, on Twitter at Rams_RL, Twitch at Rams_RL. I stream consistently. If you haven't already seen, I do a streaming section called 5Ls, which essentially means every time I get 5 ranked losses in a row, not in a row, in general, I will raffle away a free replay analysis on stream to someone in chat. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you tune in, make sure you follow, have the notifications on for when I stream, and join in. It doesn't take very long for me to lose 5 games, I can promise you that. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know if there's anything you want me to explain or go through in the comments. Let me know, and peace.